What's going on, everybody? Here is my review of Sony's conference, which I actually took my own notes on because I had remembered once it got around to Sony's conference. So, overall, I thought Sony's conference was pretty good. I don't think it was absolutely incredible, as you see a lot of Sony fans. They pretty much say it everywhere, like every year. They can't really help themselves. But I thought it was great. I thought it was a pretty great conference, just not incredible, amazing, 10 out of 10. Jesus Christ, that's the best press conference ever. I don't think it was that level, but I thought it was pretty great. And I'm going to explain why. First off, they started with The Last Guardian, which is huge. That is huge. That's a huge announcement. Only problem with that was the game looks kind of boring as shit. Like, no offense to all of you guys who are excited for it. I was never really checking for Last Guardian like that. I wasn't really one of those people. I was never one of those people like, oh my god, I hope they bring it. I hope it comes, whatever. Honestly, I was getting tired of people like saying that and asking for it. But I'm happy for you guys who have been highly anticipating the game. But for me personally, that doesn't really look like something I would purchase. It looks extremely, underwhelming. And sitting there, watching that video, I mean, even people who were looking forward to it, in the stream chat with me, we were all just kind of like, this is what we were waiting for this whole time? Jumping, plank to plank, and then like calling your dog platypus like, every 5 seconds. Like, I don't know. Maybe that was just a bad, gameplay segment. But as of right now, really, that game doesn't have my interest. But Sony still gets points for, announcing it still. Because that's still a huge reveal. It's a highly anticipated game. And also the game, you could tell that game was like just ported over to the PS4. No way they've actually optimized it for the PS4 yet. Because it looks exactly the same way it looked when we first saw it on PS3. So hopefully they touch up those graphics before it launches. But it's not coming out anytime soon, so they have plenty of time for that. The second thing they showed, I should probably talk about this last, but I'm trying to go in order. The second thing they showed was probably the best thing. Not even probably. For me, this was the best thing out of all the conferences this entire E3. Horizon from Guerrilla Games. Holy shit. I didn't know Guerrilla Games could even make a game like that. I mean, that's not me putting them down as developers. Killzone 2 was one of my favorite games last generation. I love me some Killzone 2. I would still play that game to this day if it actually had an online community. And if the online community was not using freaking... assault class, where you spawn with the freaking rocket launchers, because that's all the community freaking transformed into. It's just rocket launcher, just tryhards, right? That's all people want to use. But anyways, God, this game looks incredible, and I'm not even talking about just the graphics, which do also look incredible as well. But this is what I'm talking about, right? Because you guys know me, I'm very critical of today's industry and the kind of games that get made. I could be critical of Western developers sometimes. I'll say like, oh, that shooter looks generic, this looks plain, this shit and that shit. And I'm not saying every game has to innovate. I'm not saying that. I'm down playing a game that does the same things just well, right? That's fine. That is perfect. I play tons of games like that. But it's like when I make these claims of a shooter or a third person, first person or third person, doesn't matter, being plain, run-of-the-mill, generic, whatever, people always say, well, what do you expect them to do? What kind of ideas do you expect them to come up with in this day and age? And like, I'm glad Horizon exists. I'm glad it was shown, because that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. This game looks so original. It's fresh. It's creative. It's freaking beautiful. It is a breath of fresh air. Good Lord, that game looks good. I can't stress enough how much I'm looking forward to this game. This is literally the number one game I'm looking forward to on any system. Any system. Horizon. I want it. The only thing I need to know is whether or not this game has co-op. I'm sure it will. I'm sure Guerrilla Games wouldn't make the silly choice not to include some kind of cooperative multiplayer, but I'm sure they will. That game looks incredible. Guerrilla Games, good fucking job. You guys deserve a medal. You guys deserve a Nobel Peace Prize. I can't speak. Can't stress enough how much this game looks incredible. But let me get off it, because I could talk about that game all day. Hitman, the new Hitman. I don't really care too much about Hitman. Not really keen on it, but I do recognize it as a good series. Looked cool, whatever. Street Fighter 5 trailer, Birdie and Cammy got announced. I'm pretty sure Cammy got leaked beforehand. I'm not sure about Birdie. Street Fighter 5 is looking great. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I was thinking about picking Street Fighter 4 back up, but I think at this point I'll just go ahead and wait for Street Fighter 5. No Man's Sky presentation. I like No Man's Sky. I'm going to pick it up, but the presentation they showed, kind of like a lot of what I said with Microsoft's conference. Just a bad gameplay segment. And yeah, the guy said, oh, I'm going to go to a random world and there might not be something here, so this might be boring. But, I understand he said that, but still, like, God, like, that was kind of boring. Dreams, looks cool. Not something I would buy again, but there's a place for games like that. If you want to call it a game, there's a place for games like that, and there's an audience for games like that. So, kudos to Media Molecule for, sticking to themselves, doing their thing, and, filling in those gaps, that we would normally have if they weren't there. Because, there's not a lot of games that try to focus on, just pure creativity like that, pure creation, things of that nature. I'm not talking about level editing in a first-person shooter or something like that. I'm talking about, like, literally just doing whatever the hell you want to, right? Good job to Media Molecule. Destiny DLC, whatever. World of Final Fantasy. Yeah. It looks chibi and everything. I'm not down with the whole chibi thing. But maybe the combat system will actually be good. There's no reason why it wouldn't be. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Another huge announcement. Now, if you guys remember, I did a video a long time ago actually specifically talking about Final Fantasy VII. I think Final Fantasy VII is one of the most goddamn overrated games of all time. It's a good game. Just overrated as I don't know what. I mean, people be talking about, forget about best Final Fantasy. People be talking about it's the best RPG of all time. I'm like, no. You obviously have not played a lot of RPGs. But I'm glad that a remake has finally been announced. Because just like with Last Guardian, finally I can stop seeing people ask for it and talk about it. You happy now? Shut up. Thank you. You're getting your Final Fantasy VII. But, I mean, I might check it out if it looks cool enough or whatever, and depending on the price as well, but I don't really care about Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, I'm a Final Fantasy X guy. Talk about the characters and story all you want. I enjoyed it. 10 is the best. The Sphere Grid system was fucking badass. You can't deny that. Get the fuck out of here. Assassin's Creed exclusive missions for Syndicate. Cool. Whatever. Yeah, they'll get more people to buy it. The PS4 version. And then another bomb, the third bomb, Shenmue 3. Same situation as Final Fantasy VII Remake, same situation as Last Guardian. Finally, I can stop hearing people talk about this. I did not play Shenmue back in the day. I don't care to play Shenmue. Not my style of the game. I know you guys just like, God damn, Shokio shooting down everything. I'm not saying these games are crap. I'm not saying they're bad. Just not for me. Just not my cup of tea. I just don't really care. They're not up my alley. But I am happy for you guys. I really am. I'm not, just saying that to say it. I'm not being sarcastic. For all you guys who want Last Guardian, Final Fantasy VII, Shenmue 3, I'm happy for you guys. Because I know how much, these games mean to y'all. So I'm happy for y'all. I just personally don't care. But that definitely was a bomb. The only problem with this, along with the Final Fantasy VII announcement, is that neither of these things are exclusive. So Sony still gets major points for these things, right? Just not as much as it normally would, because these things are definitely not going to be exclusive games. But that is on Kickstarter, and it's already reached its goal, of course. It's probably going to reach 2 or 3 times its goal. Like, who freaking knows? Next up was Batman Arkham Knight. They showed some exclusive Scarecrow missions. Well, they didn't show the missions, but they announced the exclusive Scarecrow missions. Looked pretty cool. They didn't really show the actual core game itself because, we've seen enough, of it by now, and it comes out next week. So we didn't really need like a new gameplay trailer or anything like that. But Arkham Knight's gonna be dope. I'm definitely gonna be picking that game up. And then they start talking about, I have it written down right here in my notes. I specifically put down Spotify and shit because I don't even remember what the shit was. Like, I just remember Spotify, and then there's a bunch of other crap that's not even game related and stuff that we don't even care about or whatever. And then that's when they kind of like killed the pace because they spent like a long ass time on that thing. Then they showed Black Ops 3. Now, this might sound crazy to you guys, but I actually liked what I saw. And I was surprised, and I thought something was wrong with me at first, because as they were showing Black Ops 3, and you guys know me, I don't give two shits about Call of Duty. I think Call of Duty's the blandest, the most generic, same shit every year, bullshit, yada yada. Yeah, I'm one of those gamers. I'm really cynical and stuff. But when I saw Black Ops 3, I was like, huh, that actually looks really fun and different enough for me to actually consider picking this up. And then I looked around and everybody's like, this looks like crap. What is this shit? I'm like, I was like, what? Like, the one time they show Call of Duty footage I'm actually interested in, everybody is shitting on it. Like, is there something wrong with me? Am I retarded or something? But no, most people said that the game doesn't look bad. They just said that, kind of like what I've been saying with some of these demos, it was just a bad demo because they were switching through too many, players and, viewpoints and all that stuff. And they focused on, kind of like the single player, and stuff like that. So I understand that. But I actually think Black Ops looks pretty good. Like, I really do. And that, I know that sounds crazy coming out of me, Shokio. I'm probably one of the biggest Call of Duty shitters out there. But I actually like the way Black Ops 3 looks. It looks faster. There's a lot more mechanics in there based off what I've seen. I think it looks really freaking fun. And I think I'm going to pick it up. And I'm kind of surprising myself saying this, but I actually like the way Black Ops 3 looks. And I'm going to be buying it, I think. I don't know. And then they went to a montage. A montage that lasted like 5 fucking minutes, killing the momentum, killing the pacing of the conference yet again. Sony is just terrible with this thing. After the long, excessive montage, Disney Infinity, exclusive starter pack, and shit like that. Whatever, who cares? Killed the momentum again. I mean, well, it never really started back up for the montage. And then they went on to Star Wars Battlefront, and we saw it at EA's conference, but this gameplay demo also looked very good. Battlefront looks freaking great. It's missing a lot of stuff. It really is. It's missing a lot of stuff like, space battles. It should have more players, and stuff like that. It's missing a lot of stuff that were in previous Battlefront games. But, my God. All you guys who have been shitting on Battlefront, I mean, I've been right there shitting on Battlefront with you guys. Each time more information has been released, and it's missing this that used to be in the series, and that used to be in the series, and that I've been shitting on it. But, God, that game looks so great. Like, the gameplay just looks smooth as fuck. The graphics look good. That game looks good, man. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to bite the bullet and buy that fucking game. And I really don't want to because I hate EA. I might have to buy used. I don't know. I really hate EA, but I'm not going to deprive myself from that game. I got to get that game. That game looks freaking awesome. And then they ended it with the Uncharted 4 live demo, which was the main thing I was waiting to see. And the game looks good. The game looks great. I'm really excited for Uncharted 4. I love Uncharted. I'm an Uncharted fan. Uncharted 2 is probably my top 3 favorite games last generation. Not probably, it is for sure. But like I've been saying a lot, I know I've been saying this a lot about a lot of these games, but I think the demo was a poor choice. Reason being is because 95% of the demo spent time in a car. Uncharted is not about driving around, Naughty Dog. Uncharted is not about driving around, Sony. Now, I understand this game is going to be bigger when it comes to the world and the areas you can get into. So that's probably what they were trying to showcase. But regardless, that's still not what Uncharted is about. Therefore, I don't think they should have showcased that. Bad demo. But the game looks good. The dialogue is as good as ever. My nigga Victor Sullivan is back in it, man. I love that character, man. He should have been in PlayStation All-Stars. He really should have. But Uncharted 4 is going to be dope. It really is. It just wasn't the best demo in my opinion. But yeah, overall, I would give Sony's conference an 8 out of 10. Anywhere from an 8 to 8.5. 8.0 minimum, 8.5 max. I know some of you guys may be saying like, how is it? Are you giving it that low? That's not low in the first place. But that was obviously a 9, or that was obviously a 9.5. They dropped bombs. They did drop bombs. But like I was saying, Last Guardian, Final Fantasy, Shenmue, those are bombs, but they're not exclusive bombs. So like I was saying, they don't get as many points as they normally would have. See what I'm saying? And then they also get points off for bad pacing with the montage, with the whole Disney Infinity part, with the slow part where they're talking about No Man's Sky and Dreams and Destiny DLC. It was kind of slow and boring. World of Final Fantasy, that was just kind of like a boring stretch or whatever. Now, I'm not saying you have to do amazing game after amazing game after amazing game. There's just long periods of I was about to say disinteresting, uninteresting things, on the stage. That's pretty much what it was. So I give Sony's conference a 8.5, probably closer to 8.5. I'm not really big on the whole numbering thing, but yeah, I think it was. I think it's pretty good overall. Just a few problems. Not enough. There wasn't that enough exclusives. That's for sure. But they did say beforehand that there wasn't going to be a lot of exclusives. So you guys shouldn't have really expected that in the first place. But I give Sony's conference a solid 8 out of 10. So that's for this video. I cannot speak. I'm gonna be doing Nintendo's conference next, and then Square Enix's. So stay tuned for those. I'll see you guys later.